Shout out to Squarespace for sponsoring today's episode.
So I guess the biggest difference that the renovation made to our life, I guess, is that I was not a kitchen person, but I actually spend a lot of time in the kitchen now. So I grew up in Beijing, China, which is an incredibly busy and highly populated city. I moved to Australia about 18 or 19 years ago, and I lived in a leafy suburb called Blackburn in the east of Melbourne. While it was very peaceful and nice, I always missed the busyness and hustle and bustle of inner city lifestyle. So I was instantly attracted to its great location and convenience to all the great cafe, restaurants, and shops nearby. And at the moment, my partner Tang, myself, and our dog Betty live here. We did a renovation about 6 years ago, and we have been living here since. Fitzroy Terrace is a part of a multi-res development that was built probably around the 90s. And the development transformed a warehouse into a series of townhouse. Part of the development is also heritage listed. So the townhouse has 2 stories. It has east-west orientation. We have a nice little central courtyard in the middle of the block. However, given the width of the block, we do have limited natural daylight coming into the interior space. The original house has a galley kitchen in the west end of the floor plate, with dining and living room facing east into the central courtyard. While we do receive some morning daylight coming through the central courtyard, the house feels quite dark in the afternoon as the galley kitchen blocks out all the natural light from the west. Our primary goal was to open up the space as much as possible to increase the natural daylight in the interior. We essentially demolished the original kitchen and relocated the kitchen from the west to the center of the floor plate. And this has broken up the living and dining room. As soon as we finished demolition, the interior instantly felt much brighter and more open. To further accentuate the idea of openness in the interior, we kept the kitchen design fairly simple. We've tried to integrate all the appliances into the joinery to reduce cluster. In this case, we have also put the island centered in the middle, just so when we prepare or cook, we'll be able to face the interior instead of facing a blank wall. To further explore the idea of open plan design, we specifically chose an induction cooktop that is with an integrated extraction fan, just so we can avoid any overhead joinery or any range hood suspended from the ceiling. So in terms of living space and the courtyard, we essentially wanted to extend the idea of minimalism and openness from the kitchen and dining room. So essentially, we've used the same timber veneer that we've used for a lot of joinery and other wall linings throughout the house in the living room to create a sense of warmth. The central courtyard was all concrete up when we first moved in. And the trees that we planted a few years ago have really grown in the past few years. And this had made the entire ground floor a lot more inviting and soft. On the first floor, we have 3 bedrooms. Tang and I used the small bedrooms that face the courtyard as home office, and we used the front bedroom as the master. While we're very happy with the layout and the size of the bedrooms, we have always wished that we could have an ensuite, just so we don't have to share a bathroom with parents when they're here. Also, just simply thought it would be nice to improve the amenity of the townhouse and bring it up to date. While keeping the general location of the 3 bedrooms, we moved the original European laundry from the first floor to the ground floor facing the kitchen. We reconfigured and tightened the existing bathroom and relocated the master bedroom's robe into the original main bathroom's footprint. And as a result, we were able to fit a very compact ensuite at where the robe used to be located in the master bedroom. It's very compact, and we had to separate the shower and toilets into different compartments. So in terms of the color and material palette, we kept it quite restrained. Mainly you will see is white, timber, and some concrete. The original townhouse was built on a concrete slab, but when we moved in, it was covered in a really worn out carpet finish. So we put off the carpet and polished the existing concrete slab. And I think that adds a really nice character to the interior and shows some of the personality from the original warehouse. We also decided to retain the existing staircase. So we restained the treads and repainted the metal balustrade, and it blended in quite nicely with the new interior design that we did. So I guess the biggest difference that the renovation made to our life, I guess, is that I was not a kitchen person, but I actually spend a lot of time in the kitchen now. That is so open that you actually feel as part of the living room, compared to when we had to squeeze into the tiny little galley kitchen back in the day. I guess minimalism and simple design comes pretty naturally to me on a personal level. I do like clean lines and simple forms with a spark here and there throughout the design, but I also think is part of the fun being an architect who's able to design for different clients who have very different design and style preferences. So part of the fun.
A special shout out to Squarespace for sponsoring this episode. When I built the Design Emotive's website years ago, I went with Squarespace. Squarespace gives people a powerful and beautiful online platform to build a website and presence. While I like to keep my website simple, you can connect with your audience and generate revenue through gated, members-only content. You can also build a mailing list, create a community for the fully integrated commenting system on blog posts, create an e-commerce store with plenty of third-party tools, display posts from your social profiles, and a lot more. They also have powerful analytics so you can track sales, visitors, traffic sources, form conversions, and more. Go to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch your own website, go to squarespace.com/thedesignemotive to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.